George Friedman, The Next Decade, Empire and Republic in a Changing World. In The Next Decade, Empire and Republic in a Changing World, George Friedman explores the challenges faced by the United States as it continues to dominate the global landscape. This book delves deep into the role of the U.S. president in protecting the nation's interests, balancing power, and managing alliances. It also takes a closer look at the economic, political, and military dynamics in pivotal regions such as the Middle East, Russia, and Europe, while predicting future changes and how the United States should adapt and navigate the New World Order.
The challenge of empire. The United States faces the challenge of maintaining a republic while wielding immense power as a major superpower. This unique status creates dangers, such as the September 11th attacks, and places significant responsibility on the country's president. To protect American interests, the president must adopt an unsentimental approach, abandoning old alliances if necessary, and identifying and managing dangerous enemies. This may involve forming coalitions with leaders who have questionable ethics, as demonstrated by Roosevelt's alliance with Stalin during World War II. Economic crises, a drive for political change. The financial crisis of 2008 and the 9/11 terrorist attack shaped the future. Historical examples reveal that public confidence is vital to alleviate economic crises. The government must shift power from the financial to the political elite. Economic downturns lead to political changes with a rise in economic nationalism. The financial crisis of 2008 and the 9/11 terrorist attack were two significant events that will shape the future. Past economic crises provide insightful experiences into how such events can be managed. The market for municipal bonds almost collapsed in the 70s, and international aid was needed for third world countries during the same period. In the 80s, savings and loan institutions caused a real estate economic disaster. Historical examples reveal that public confidence is essential to alleviate economic crises. A president must convince the public of a plan, shifting the boundary between private and public, between market and state. Franklin D. Roosevelt's presidency demonstrated that the most effective remedy is not economic policy but a public perception of the president's plan. FDR shifted power from the financial elite to the political elite, mollifying the public's widespread sentiment that elites failed society. This kind of sentiment led to the rise of fascism in Italy and Germany. The most significant consequence of the 2008 crisis will be political, not economic. The coming years will see a rise of economic nationalism. The growth of the state will result in reduced market autonomy and put geopolitics firmly in the hands of politicians. Economic downturns lead to political changes, and the power will shift from the financial to the political elite. The Perennial War. The book raises the question of why the U.S. has been perpetually at war in the 21st century and how it can change this. Before September 11th, the U.S. balanced power in the Middle East to maintain the status quo, using rivalries between local players to prevent domination of the region. However, President George W. Bush made a mistake by declaring a war on terror following 9/11, which was disproportional to the threat terrorism posed to the U.S. This led to the U.S. being trapped in an impossible situation, where it cannot withdraw troops from Iraq without leaving Iran unchallenged in the region. To deal with this situation properly, the U.S. must completely rethink its policy in the Middle East. The power dynamic after the U.S. invasion of Iraq. The U.S. invasion of Iraq shifted the balance of power between Iran and Iraq. With the U.S. military's withdrawal from Iraq, Iran's formidable presence in the region has become even more secure. Iran's population and religious affiliation give it significant influence, outweighing any Sunni country in the area. Despite several failed attempts to destabilize Iran's government, the United States remains wary of the nation. An attack on Iran would only make the country more dangerous, as it could respond by blocking the Strait of Hormuz, resulting in soaring oil prices and a severe blow to the global economy. Given these factors, an eventual truce between the United States and Iran seems inevitable. Turkey's rising dominance in the Middle East. The United States sees Turkey as a potential regional power to balance the dominance of Iran in the Middle East. With a population of 70 million and a strong economy and army, Turkey is well positioned to increase its influence in the region and reduce its dependency on Russian energy. The Arab world supports Turkey's ambitions as an alliance with Turkey is the best way to counter Iran's growing power and protect Sunni interests. In the long run, Turkey's economic dynamism, military strength, and U.S. backing will help it rise to power and stabilize the region. Balancing power in the Middle East. The United States is focused on maintaining a balance of power in the region between the Eastern Mediterranean and the Hindu Kush. This involves preserving the oil flow, eliminating Islamist groups, and ensuring the balance between nuclear powers India and Pakistan. The U.S. should prioritize helping Pakistan consolidate its power and build a more sophisticated army to keep up with India. The government currently forming in Afghanistan poses no serious threat to the U.S., and the war in Afghanistan is unlikely to wipe out jihadist forces. Restoring Pakistan as a counterbalance to Indian power is a win-win situation for the U.S. Russia's geopolitical strategies. When the Soviet Union dissolved, many believed Russia was no longer a significant player. But Putin's focus on a strong state and reclaiming military power has changed this perspective. He prioritized the Russian economy's dependence on exporting natural resources, but this has not been a solid foundation. Russia needs to build strategic alliances with the West, like Germany, to succeed. The U.S. aims to prevent a German-Russian entente that could challenge their global dominance and may use Poland as a proxy to support their anti-Russia agenda. Geopolitical uncertainty in the future of the European Union. The geopolitical tensions in European countries are likely to increase in the coming years, posing uncertainties for the future of the European Union. Two key challenges that the EU faces include determining its relationship with Russia and positioning Germany within the Union. The historical integration imposed by the necessity of organizing against the Soviet threat has not resulted in a deeper sense of unity among EU member states. The power dynamics in the EU have shifted with Germany emerging as the most dynamic economy, creating an imbalance with its neighbors and isolating the country. The consequences of the 2008 economic crisis have highlighted the instability in the EU, particularly with Germany's opposition to bailout measures for weaker countries. In the future, the EU is likely to see some members stepping out of the Eurozone, and without united military forces, the EU will never attain any significant power. U.S. policy in the next decade aims to play on this discord to impede any European-Russian rapprochement and limit the power of potential European-Russian and Russian-German alliances.
In conclusion, Friedman's thought-provoking book presents a comprehensive analysis of the shifting global dynamics. He suggests that the United States needs to manage its empire without losing sight of its republic, and the president plays a crucial role in this balancing act. The book emphasizes the importance of dealing with Iran and Turkey's role in the Middle East, maintaining equilibrium between India and Pakistan, and managing European and Russian relations. As the world continues to change, the United States must adapt and navigate through these complexities, ensuring that its vast influence prevails while preserving its democratic nature.